What is up, guys? Steve here with Scotching Things. Hey, and some of you have said that you like these videos, these work recaps. So you're gonna get a work recap of our week and some knife stuff. It's only Friday. We were only on the road 5 days, but you're still tired. We've been out of the last 35 days, we've been home 8. It gets living out of a hotel just kind of starts to wear on you. We're gonna be home this Monday and Tuesday, and then I need to decide. We need to look at weather and decide if we're going to drive 2 hours each way every day or stay in the hotel for the next 5 to 6 days is what the next bin should take, depending on weather. Also depends on hotel prices. Hotels have gotten extremely expensive, and it's ridiculous. Prices have gone, I mean, it's ridiculous and we're not staying in, we don't stay in dumps. If you saw my Instagram story, my door wouldn't even shut. But even that was an issue, but the room was nice. But even now, like, you don't get housekeeping services every day. You don't get, the breakfasts at most of these have just been atrocious. Like, so what am I paying for? So, I don't know. It's gotten ridiculous. We stayed at one last night, so we were in the North Platte area of Nebraska for 3 days, and then we stayed last night in a place called Arapahoe, where we did a big 4-bin project there 4 and 5 years ago, I think it was now. We did 2 one year and 2 the other, and we were across the street this time. But funny story, the guy that owns, it's a tiny little town, but the guy that owns the hotel, super nice guy. I mean, super nice guy, and we've stayed there a bunch. And he started a distillery, and we stopped out, man, was it 4 years ago? On our way to Colorado, we were driving through this town when we were going on vacation, and then he had just started it up finally. He had told us, because we were there working in the spring, and we had passed back through in the summertime and stopped in to see him. And at that time, he had only had like flavored whiskey, I bought a couple bottles at the time. One was like a salted caramel, and I don't like flavored whiskey. It's not my thing at all. I'm a Scotch guy. This time, we're staying there, so I stopped in, and he's got a long line of, now I can't even think of what it's called, skinny dogs, long dog, because they've got little dachshunds. Long Dog Distilling, I think it's called. I'll have to look at the bottle. But he's got a lot of varieties now, and he let me try some, and man, some of that, he calls it bourbon, but it can't be called bourbon unless it's made in Kentucky. Anyway, whatever. I bought a couple bottles. One is, I tried it was decent. It's from Milo, which is, as far as he can tell, he might be the only one making a whiskey out of a Milo. A farmer talked him into doing it, and it's become pretty popular. But anyway, squirrel, just kind of thought I'd throw that in there. So we were north of North Platte, Nebraska, and it's kind of sad. We built, you saw a picture, I threw up an AGI. I call them MFS, because that's what they were originally. The brand was called MFS, and about 9 years ago, they sold. It was a family-owned company out of Grand Island, Nebraska. Bins made right here in Nebraska, family-owned, and they sold it to a larger company out of Canada called AGI. And stuff always changes, but still the bins. It's my favorite bin to build. They just go together easy. The roofs are the best, and it's funny because my father-in-law helped them redesign their new roof 10 years ago or whatever. But I like it because it's a fast build for us, even on the bigger bins. Their roofs everything I just like about them better, except I'm not a fan. Their unloads, I don't like their unload system, but the bin, the shell itself, love building them. And we just started. We're starting. I've got a Brock. We've got two Brocks to do a GSI, but then I've got a string of these AGI MFS bins, and then that's it. They're done. They announced a while ago that they were moving all bin operations out of Canada. All their bins. They were shutting down the Grand Island plant. They're not going to make the MFS bin anymore. And the only thing we'll be able to get is their West Steel bin. Some of you in the northern parts of the country, and I think they've sold some in the southern states, might see them on farms. So it's a sad day. It's going to be sad because, you know, growing up in Nebraska, you saw MFS everywhere. And like I said, it's probably my favorite brand to build. Brock being a close second. Yeah, it's going to be a bummer. So, and like what happens, everybody's wondering about pricing and this and that, and I'm worried about what happens when I'm short parts and they have to ship them from Canada. What is that going to do for work shortages, slowing the project down? I'm gonna have to figure out something to. Somebody lost a tire all over the road. I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of system to charge them for days lost if we're waiting a long time for parts. They say they're going to stock some stuff in a couple warehouses around the country, little knick-knacky type pieces. But the nice thing about MFS was, you know, we were in Kansas working and we were short a piece, just one piece for the rafter, and they had that piece out to us that day. They sent someone, they drove down and had us that piece before noon. So just little stuff like that. They say in their press release, it was funny, they say and we call them, so I call them, if you hear me talk about short sheets or tall sheets, a short sheet is a 32-inch sheet. A tall sheet is a 42 to 44-inch, depending on the company. And then the corrugation, there's narrow core and wide core. Well, MFS is all narrow core, and they're moving away. They're not going to offer a short sheet bin anymore, which sucks because then you need a ladder to do everything, to put stiffeners on, just everything, putting roof sheet. It's slower to build. And they say the industry's moving away from narrow corrugation, and this is the conspiracy theorist in me. I'm not an engineer, but you know, the narrow corrugation is, if you know what I'm talking about, corrugated metal, it's narrower, there's more ribs in it, which gives it more strength, compared to a tall sheet that has a flat irrigation. It's wide. They call it wide core. Well, it's a much flatter. And in my experience, and just doing this for almost a decade now, a lot of the wind damage we go is on these tall sheet wide corrugation bins, because the sheet is flatter, so it catches more air, more wind, and the corrugation isn't as strong. And I can tell you, when we're handling the sheets, when we're dragging these sheets around the bin, getting them in place and stuff, the narrow core, it's just a stiffer sheet. These tall sheet ones, they'll fold the thinner the sheets are, you know. So it's like, why are you really doing it? Is it so customers could have damage, and then you also make money not only selling them a bin, but then selling them replacement parts? I don't know. I just think it's weird. But whatever. So it's going to be a sad day when we knock out, it'll be, you know, when we knock out our last MFS bin. Sad day, I think. So kind of a bummer, and kind of really screwing all those customers out there. Are you going to be more willing to buy a West Steel bin, knowing that you bought a MFS or an AGI bin within the last year, 5 years, whatever, and you're not gonna, if you get storm damage, you're pretty much screwed. They're gonna run some sheets, but then that's it. You won't be able to get replacements after those are gone. I just think that's weird. So kind of sucks for those guys that have spent a lot of money on these bin sites, and you're not going to get, if you have any kind of storm damage that is fixable, you're shit out of luck unless you can find some guy with used sheets somewhere. So I don't know, just it's weird. So now my new favorite bin to build is Brock. Brock go together just as easy. Their roofs are just a little bit more technical, so there's a little bit more work that goes into a Brock roof. But so what else? That was work this week. Like I said, just tired of being on the road, and we're going to be on the road. Like I said, we'll be home we've got 2 days worth of some repair jobs around home, and then, like I said, decide what we want to do, drive or stay, and then the rest of the year. We've got one more bin at home, but that won't be until the end of the month. So just beat what I have on me this week. I brought the Sebenza 31, the Pabenza, and the Z-Wear. That's what I had. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired. Let's talk some knife stuff. I've got one knife. Okay, so the theme of these talks now, the last couple videos, have been me selling off a large portion, or trying to sell off a large portion of my collection, because I just kind of, like I always talked about it, but just realized, like, my God, there's just a lot of stuff here that doesn't get carried or whatever. So I've got one knife waiting at home for me. That was about a month ago. I've got one knife that is in the mail on its way to me. That was ordered over a month ago. So, but I've been, other than those, and then I ordered something else a couple weeks ago, but that, who knows when that will show up. I still got Donnie's knife in the works. Something else, but that's a year off. But really, I haven't had that need, that crave to buy something. Doug 5-Door sent me which I do want one of these knives, that all titanium cold steel 8010 in 3V. Man, Midway USA has them for like $250, which is a screaming deal. I think they're usually $3.99 or something like that. Dude, I do want one, but I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna carry it for a while, and then on the job site, and then I'll go back to carrying an SMF or something like that. And so that was the click. Like, I really, when I say I haven't bought anything, like, I bought stuff, but it was a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 weeks, but I didn't buy anything this last trip. You get, like I talked about before, you get in these hotel rooms at night and you got nothing to do, and you're searching the internet and you're watching, you're just, you're flipping through Instagram, seeing knives, going, ooh, I want one of those. So yeah, it's been kind of nice. I'm gonna try and sell. I've got a knife that I need to ship out to Will tomorrow. Still got that Rask I'm holding, that Microtech Stitch. There's some others I think I might list this go around. Still got that Lego, the old school Lego SNG. What else? Benchmade bailout. I'll have to look and see what else I want to move. But it's just been kind of like cleansing just getting stuff out, so you're not so cluttered, or don't feel so like, oh my God, all these knives, and just kind of focus on the knives I really want. What was I watching, or was it I watched, this will be weird, and we've all felt this and we've talked about it, but I was watching something on YouTube. It popped up with Dave Bautista, and he was showing off his lunchbox collection, and he just said something like, you're chasing that feeling. There's that thing you've been hunting forever, right? You've hunted it forever, and then when you get it, you've got this sense of accomplishment, and the joy it brings you, but then you're on to the next one. And that's what I'm still after a Stang Blade Works Pyrenees. I've been chasing that stupid knife for over 4 years now. So all you guys going to the Maker Syndicate this weekend, hook your boy up. No one's been in my truck. Why is my mirror all screwed up? So yeah, I mean, there's nothing really, these customs that I've got coming or whatever, I'm excited for those, but those are things I spec'd. Trying to think of anything. Yeah, there's nothing I'm really chasing. There's been some cool Striders pop up that I've even kind of just not jumped on. I just think maybe I say this and I'll probably buy 16 knives in the next 2 days, but I finally feel like I can see something and not just hurry up and immediately buy it. And I was like that for a long time, and you'd see that I'd get these knives and then I'd sell them a month later, whatever, when I'd carry them for a week or a couple days and then put them away and just go back to my trusty, the stuff I carry. So I don't know, I think my tastes are still the same. My tastes haven't changed. I just think I'm becoming more discerning in what I'm willing to spend money on now, or my money, and just like I said, Freeze, it really is nice, kind of thinning out the collection. It just gives you this feeling like it's still a nice collection, but maybe for a while there you were like, man, I want all the nice stuff, I want all the knives, and I want this big collection. And maybe I'll get there again someday, I don't know, but who knows. That's what I got for you guys. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.